Alright, hello. Welcome back. We're playing the Great Ace Attorney again. My name is Andrew, and with me, as usual, is John. We're starting late today because I made spaghetti, and it took like 25 minutes for the water to boil, so that was fun. So the last I remember, we finished the second case, which we solved the very stupid murder of our friend on the boat.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're actually in Great Britain by now, because that was like the whole selling point of this entire game.
Yeah. I don't know. A part of me just expects that we're going to be in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then the whole well, Hong Kong was part of Britain. It counts.
Technically.
I also just like that, our best friend died. And, it was kind of glossed over.
Yeah, we weren't that
Glancing over my
unhappy about
records
it.
of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night.
Wait, we already solved that
The
crime.
victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside. There were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner. My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
Gay?
I can't imagine that as the voice of the Sherlock character in this game. He's too goofy.
Yeah.
His animation's really nice, though.
Mhm.
Especially for these games.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Wait, that's our main character's voice?
Yeah.
I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
It almost sounds like French, like a tiny little bit French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's that they're trying to make them seem foreign to Britain,
Yeah.
but still speaking English.
Yeah, it's weird.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
And they were never seen again.
In that case, the Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope
Oh,
you
it's like a
enjoy
weird, half cart.
And somehow I was expecting those kids to, steal their bags
Centre
or
of the
something.
yeah.
world. Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Wait, was that the Eiffel Tower in the back?
I know, that was a weird, ambiguous building there. Dude, is this what the Supreme Court looks like in Britain? They have giant gears? That'd be sick.
Are you sure this isn't just Hogwarts?
This is Dumbledore's office. 18th February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office.
Dum dum.
Lord Master Bossman Chief Justice.
Esquire the Third.
Yes. Alright, Joe, you have to do the same voice.
Oh God.
What an incredible place.
It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating.
There we go. Talent. This place is breathtaking. It looks like a fortress. So what is up with the gears? This kind of reminds me of,
Oh, we're inside a clock.
Oh, is the Supreme Court in Big Ben? What the fuck?
But anyway, you were saying it was reminding you of something?
Chaos, the art machine in Columbus.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I actually, Mom shared some photos of that on my page.
Nice.
There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course.
Are there? Are there really?
But they've only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has quite a different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wood and paper most of our buildings are constructed from.
What could ever go wrong with that? Certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. Also, how do you get to these shelves? There's literally like a gap between the floor and the shelf. Do you see that?
Maybe it's like we're on a platform in like the middle of the room.
And it like rotates around.
Or not even that. It's just like the shelves are like set back from like this inner platform.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, the perspective and stuff is real funky.
What is this place again?
This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. Didn't you read the sign?
Exactly. The Lord Chief Justice.
We had instructions to report here at this time, if circumstances were different.
I'm starting to think that this guy is going to be like the final boss of the game. Like with this imposing music and this badass like throne here. Like he's going to be the one that we take down in the final case or something.
Oh my god. We literally take down like the British court system.
Yeah.
We were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan.
But Kazuma can't because he's dead.
No! So instead, we are here in a different capacity. As envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death.
Yes.
And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done.
Didn't we decide that we would fulfill the treaty because they had just asked for one lawyer and one assistant? They didn't care about the name of the person?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd have to return to Japan. Yeah, we literally decided that we were just going to loophole our way into this.
If we want to remain here in Great Britain... Oh yeah, see, but this is what the game does. Like, you figure something out or make a decision, and then it rehashes it 5 times.
God. I have to take Kazuma's place as a law student selected for the study tour.
Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer.
Which is what I've been studying for.
Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers.
All of them, though? Like, every
that seems inefficient.
It's okay, you're probably born into it. It's like a title or something.
Yeah. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It is the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London.
I don't know, it's a scratch.
Oh, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like the text sounds, like when it goes across and things like that, is a different pitch for girls than it is for guys, and it's higher pitched.
Yeah, it's like that from the first game. It's like it's almost the exact same sound effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. God, John, get up with it. It's like 2001 anymore. Come on. Jeez.
Who's gonna be the? Oh man.
Oh my God. Oh. I trust you're not too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan.
I like your Palpatine attempt.
It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies. Oh no. Don't mention it. Dude, I have my controller plugged in. My controller rumbled. I didn't think there would be rumble in an Ace Attorney PC game.
I am afraid the Death Star will be quite operational when your friends arrive.
We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. By the way, this guy's absolutely the bad guy. Like, all you have to do is look at his face. Like, so, introductions. I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire. I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot.
be a...
You really clipped out on that one.
Oh, don't be a mouse!
It's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Strongheart. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Yes, thank you. London. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Help. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city.
Hold on.
Oh.
We have street carriageway station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say, I am almost lost for words.
Don't speak to me, woman. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts tramways, piped water and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor to London is astounded.
Yes, astounding is the word.
Thanks for saving me there, Suzuto-san.
And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. It's all that cocaine.
Yeah, and the lead and the coal dust. Yes.
Yes.
There's much excitement about the upcoming great exhibition we'll be hosting here in London. The event will give us, 40 prestige. It's quite great exhibition. Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. This will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop.
And the great exhibition hall that we will build will burn down, and we'll have to build it again. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be.
Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Well, my accent really fell apart there. Even if you do
You're like turning into an Italian, German thing.
Great Britain is great country. The sun will never set on our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. Lost? Lord Chief Justice, I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Absolutely. I'm Mr. Kazumi Asogi, if my memory serves. That's right. The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing. The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news?
Yeah. We have envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you hear about Lord Strongheart.
What do you have to say, madam? I have now turned slightly more towards you.
It's a study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo. So then, the moment of truth. Continuing the study tour. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead? Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done. Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean. Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. And that was Mr. Sogi. At least that is what I've been led to understand. Well, the thing is, this really isn't going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man.
Being an imbecile!
I can ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? There's something else here from Japan. If there is someone else here from Japan who can be described as a lawyer, it's... I mean, it's definitely supposed to say it's me. It probably should be Mitsu Sato, because apparently she's the one who taught us how to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But women can't be lawyers, so it's me.
Yeah, she's a woman.
Yeah. I hit a forward movement, what the hell? It's me. I can do it. Is that so? I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but... No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer? I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens.
It was on television.
Yeah. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused. But, getting over the details. Been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Burya. The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training. I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Isogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here on the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he planned to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please.
Yay, we get to defend ourselves again.
31 seconds. Sorry. Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer. Everyone knows the most important part of being a lawyer is taking up exactly the right amount of time. That's what matters.
Yep.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, that's why Kim Kardashian thought she could be one.
What?
Yeah, she, like, a couple years ago was like, I'm gonna be a lawyer! And, like, studied to take the bar, and I'm pretty sure she failed.
Wow. Rip. Oh, Jake in the chat said she went to Harvard.
Oh, did she actually take classes? Oh, well, still.
Ah, yeah, get canceled, John. What the fuck? So you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment. Huh? But let me ask you one thing first, sir. Yes? Jake says, yeah, but as a scientist, Harvard is a scam for rich kids. You say you intend to do everything Mr. Isogi planned to do. Are Are you firmly set on that path? Okay, because he has some kind of mission that he didn't tell us about, which I decided was to assassinate Queen Victoria.
Oh yes, of course.
Yes, that's my intention. I see. Am I imagining things? Did his expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden? Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you. Really? Test. So, what form will the test take exactly? That would be Mr. Naruto. What do you consider the role of a lawyer to be? Well,
something about truth.
Yeah. Well said. So, let's have you defend someone. Yeah, in the main games, Phoenix Wright and Edgeworth kind of come to the agreement that they're just trying to find the truth, but they come at it from different perspectives and stuff.
Well, isn't it like in the first game, it's like he just graduated law school and is like suddenly like defending someone who he's like never met?
I mean, like it's like the first case is defending his best friend. The second case is defending his mentor's sister in his mentor's murder. So it's not quite like that. Anyway, your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an apt trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news. Today?
Straight.
If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler? How do I get myself into these situations?
Well, it's almost like you're in a convoluted Japanese video game. I could ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart?
Trial by combat. Yes, good question. I remember. It's a murder trial. Because every fucking trial is a murder trial. No one ever commits other crimes. It's all murder. Every time.
A man murdered his entire family. Brutally.
50 people saw him. You must get him off. An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose. That's easy to say. But I should mention, just in case. If the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment, because we're in the capital, that's how it works. Capital punishment? He'll be put to death? Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law.
Can't possibly agree to such a test.
I didn't hear any.
Sorry, Mary just texted me and like it was like a murder in all caps in quotation marks. John Sheldon, 7:04 p.m. CST. We would be toying with a man's life.
I mean, if it was like just like 40 years, whatever, right? We could just fuck around. But his life, oh shit. I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable. But you can't do that, can you? There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose.
By any means necessary.
So the defendant may live or die depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged. Young Naruto, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. Strike me down with your lawyer weapon. wanted me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi? I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen. He's testing my resolve. What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be? What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? I mean, obviously, yeah, we're playing a game, so yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a lawyer without us, so I guess after waiting.
Yeah.
What if this guy's like, what the hell? You can't give me a foreign national as a lawyer.
Who's not even a lawyer.
Yeah. Alright then, if I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it, I can't get the words out. I'm gonna be a terrible lawyer. 15 seconds. Your decision making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. I didn't even ask what your decision is, just the timing matters. So, it's as I suspected, is it? Sorry. You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The light side has made you weak. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the east tomorrow. This conversation is over. Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance.
Mr. Naruhodo, you're an idiot.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Zato, but what could I do? I can't just, like, say a thing.
Yeah. It's alright, I understand. Crippling anxiety.
You do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. The result has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam?
Oh!
I think what Mr. Zato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice. Wait, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, was there something else? It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time. But I just said that I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him. What?
So then move the court date.
Impossible. At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. Is that a thing? Like, in like 1890, whatever year this is, 1905, 1902, Britain, they don't have like right to a attorney?
Possible. I know like that was one of the things that made like the U.S. court system unique.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like you were guaranteed a public defender,
yeah.
like by right. Not necessarily jury. Like jury of your peers. It was like a British. So, but.
And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome. You will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down, because fuck poor people. But that's awful. But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this? Why do we have to live in this capitalistic society?
Please please don't expect an answer to every question. The writers can only write so much dialogue, and we'd rather keep repeating the same setup information every time.
And we would rather not comment on things like socioeconomic status and race.
We're trying to go for a broad appeal to this product. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you. Jake says that in Spirits of Justice, they explicitly make a Trump reference. Now I have to play that fucking game. Holy shit, I want to see that. That's amazing. And terrible at the same time. No!
Wait, did you look it up?
No, I haven't looked it up. It's blowing my mind. So, because they never do anything else with like current events at all.
I just imagine it's like Ace is like very sad, like
I think that
bad
also
decision, sad, corrupt.
I think it also doesn't. Yeah. Oh yeah. There is a politician character that wants to make a small town great again. So, is that it? Is it a character that's like Trump, or do they literally mention Trump? Because I think actually the timeline wouldn't make sense. Because I think like the first game is in like 2015, and then there's a 7-year gap for Apollo Justice. Okay, it's like Trump, but it is not as hand-handed. Okay. So that's still pretty wild.
Is like
but it's not
Trump has been politically active since like 2007.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And when Lindbergh ran in the Republican primary, I think in like the 1930s, like his slogan was "Make America Great Again."
Yeah. I mean, it's I think he came up with yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Jake says that the game is set in like 2030, but it was made in 2016, so he was around. So that's okay. So they made a character who's clearly a riff on Trump, but it's not. They didn't like have a character who literally mentioned Donald Trump.
Oh God.
Anyway, back in the video game.
I imagine his hair was ridiculous.
Yeah, but like, even if you put Trump's hair in a Phoenix Wright game, it would be boring compared to most people's hair.
Oh yeah.
I'm really his only hope. Help me, Reinosuke, you're my only hope. So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart? I'm just a woman.
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. I have foreseen it.
Everything that I have foreseen, everything has transpired as I have foreseen.
Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
I must go put on a black cloak and talk to people where you only see my nose.
So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves. I'm going to go through a very large holographic projector that has a very poor resolution.
He's gone!
I like how sometimes, like, they have the characters, like, positioned in a way that makes sense. And most of the time, you're just, like, facing them directly, like it's like Fallout 3. Like,
yeah. I
wish they would stick to just like this kind of setup. The Old Bailey. Are they having this guy's case at like a pub? That sounds like a pub, right?
It does, but it is. I think it's like their port. Like, I don't know. If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. All I know of is the Old Bailey is its reference in V for Vendetta, and then blowing it up.
I think. Yeah, I think you're right. Can I just move? Do I have to ask him? Yes. Okay. If we hurry and catch a cab, we may just make it to the courthouse on time.
How much do you want to bet one of those officers is the spy?
One of these two in particular?
Yeah.
It could be the one on the left because he doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah.
But he'll probably be a witness or something. 18th February, 9:45 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
Dump dump. Thank goodness, we're in time! There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins!
We were there in 5 minutes? Didn't you say it was like 20 minutes, then we talked for a while? I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were gonna rattle loose.
Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to the destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you! It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly.
Give him a guinea pig to eat. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were gonna die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege.
Well, here before the trial started.
Yes, I suppose there's that.
Anyway, I understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here. But there's no sign of him at all. Oh god, it's Herlock Sholmes.
No! He's gonna be like hiding on the ceiling or something. But he just got back. How could he be in a criminal case already? But how did we end up being the defendant of 2 cases back to back? Yeah, I guess. He'll find out. It's either that or it's like a small child like cowering under the couch or something. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. I'm feeling tense. That's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yeah, whoever here to defend this, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. Alright, do you want to be this guy? I think this is the defendant. I'll be this guy. Okay. Top of the morning to you, madam. Sir? There we go, perfect. Oh my god. What the fuck? Is this literally the Mad Hatter? Like... What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, are they? Now you're a dwarf. This is good. This is good. I like this. Oh, he's shorter. Sorry? Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east, Arius? We're from Japan, yes. Japan, is it right? Say no more. No, you're Irish. It's just moving all over the place. So how much do you need? No. We're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all the while a strange and faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say nothing now. Please, Mr. Sato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is 1,000! Is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo! What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day. Why can't this guy just buy a lawyer then? If he's loaded, that's a good question. Is he gonna be a con artist? Yes. I have enough wealth to buy the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Can that much rain even fall in one day? Even so, we couldn't possibly accept a large sum of money. Ow, my face. Ah, that hit me in the eye.
Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you strings attached. No strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me.
Oh?
To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, it's for my good self here. I'll be in the dock.
What?
So now, what I want you to do
Is kill the judge.
do it. Is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail.
Oh, well, the thing is...
Don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me, nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial's gonna start without me having any kind of representation at all.
So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't just making it all up.
I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Yes. Bluster and blazes, do yous not know who I am, me? One of London's biggest name.
No, sorry, we only just arrived in the city, you see.
I see. I suppose it ain't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park, there's the center of London, is another beautiful park.
Jekyll Park or something? What's it gonna be? Sorry, a park?
Tis called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated to the city, so I did. Ah! An entire park in central London? A city of smiles, that's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGinnell wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people.
I've never seen the word queer before. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Googling that.
I mean, really extraordinary.
But now they're the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGill. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you?
Alright, don't pass out.
Naruhodo. Perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea.
From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, queer is a subset of queer theory exploring the intersectionality of race and sexuality. Queer could also mean the Queer Fellow. Brendan Behan play produced in 1954.
Wow, woke McGilded over here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definition from Oxford Languages. Latismo, arc per perche. Well, that's not very helpful. I think it was all entirely in like. Weird.
Alright, so it's some old-timey word. Whatever.
Yeah, or it might have been like he was saying square, but... Yeah, anyway.
Maybe, yeah.
Ha ha ha!
Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see.
Ha ha ha!
So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best.
What was I after saying, you daft Egypt? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I?
Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you.
Oh, I think I see what's going on here.
Sorry?
I know what you're thinking. This Chancellor of Othello claims to have more money than the Queen! But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did! That's the only explanation. Well,
not at all, because it's not what I'm trying to fucking say. Not at all. Although it is a little strange, to be honest. Well, you don't have a lawyer, I mean.
That would be the fault of the Reaper.
Oh boy. Sorry, did he just say Reaper? Oh, it's gonna be like Jack the Ripper? Like, killed his lawyer or something?
Ah! The Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Barak van Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zeek stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned.
What?
So, it's reached a desperate situation, where there's no one willing to stand the defense against the fella at all.
But, like, the lawyer still gets paid if they lose the case, right? It's not like they don't get executed, so I thought they would still take this guy's money.
You could say he's living legend of the old Mayday. I guess maybe, like, they're worried about the reputation.
But, like, if you lose to the guy who never loses, like, is it that bad? You know what I mean? Like, if you lose to, like, LeBron James in basketball, no one's gonna, like, think you're a shitty basketball player, right?
Yeah, nobody's gonna shit on you because LeBron beat you.
Yeah.
Goodness, Lord Barak von Zeeks! He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then. Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed.
Cursed? What on earth? The defendant is summoned, and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial's about to begin. His counsel? That'd be me.
Oh! 'Tis time! Well then, fella, don't let me down.
But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened.
I'll tell you a shower in your face here. I'd made up my mind, so I haven't.
Sorry?
I decided I'd have to defend myself in there.
How would that have worked? I mean, who could possibly defend themselves in court? That doesn't ever happen. But then you made an appearance. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? Suddenly he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
'Tis no accident, I can assure you that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please.
I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him.
Welcome to a Phoenix Wright game.
Yeah. But unlike a Phoenix Wright game, we might not get paid for this one.
Oh. Miss Aruhodo!
The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something that Kazuma would have never allowed to happen. Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand. We'll take your kneecaps. I'll be right there. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this.
I imagine that it's like when we get stuck, like the ghost of Kazuma.
Oh my god! No, that is a thing that has actually happened in Phoenix Wright before. So.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, it helps that like a family of spirit mediums features prominently. 18th February, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom.
Dump. Oh, I like that the fire effect is clearly like green screened.
Oh yeah, it's like 2-dimensional, like from like Oblivion or something. Like,
yes.
So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. Centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. I mean, there's literally shit on fire in here.
Imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant.
Dude, I kind of wish, like, courtrooms should look like this. It's like in a cathedral. There's fire. Like, this is badass. All right.
Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo?
No, shut up. Oh, yes. What?
It's not stopped you before.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again.
Yeah, it's all that cocaine I did. I know, but I just can't help it. Oh my god.
Count Dracula?
Yeah. Okay, so I think one of us should be the judge, and the other one should be the prosecutor. Who do you want to do?
I'll be the prosecutor. Well, I'll be the judge, because I imagine, like, the defendant will have to talk a lot, but the judge won't.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to, so that way one of us doesn't have to, like, talk, like, the entire time.
Yeah, it's probably, like, in order of frequency. It's probably, like, the prosecutor, the witness, Susato, the main character, and the judge, probably, like, in that order.
Yeah, and so then I'll take on, like, one of the witnesses or something.
Okay.
The name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McHounded. I now call upon the counsel of the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Jake is telling us that there are actually a ton of characters, I think, because those people we saw are actually the jury, which I think is actually something that makes this game different. Yeah, there's a jury.
Oh, God.
Here we go, boys.
Oh, boy.
Alright. What should I do for this? The prosecution is fully prepared. Blah. No, that was terrible. I can't. Blah. I can't do that stupid vampire accent.
I mean, he's Van Zieks, so you could always do, like, a Germanish.
The prosecution is fully prepared.
Excellent.
That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld.
Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English?
Wow, you can't just ask someone if they're from Africa. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, yes, of course, sorry.
We're Japanese, we're not from Africa.
But he asked if the defense was ready. I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. So his eyes please me. Nipponese. Jake says that in the cutscenes. Van Zieks sounds like a regal dickhead, but I'm gonna go ahead with my stupid German accent.
I like it.
Yeah. They shroud your fear, no doubt. Your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh, a cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes.
Now, Mr. McGolded. Oh God, I forgot this guy. Yes, my lord. Wow, that was not. You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner?
Straight up racist judge. But also has a point, because, like, literally not even qualified to be a lawyer.
Yeah. As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if your fellows are suited from a little island off the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers of yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? No, that is not the British way. I like to think that acts of chivalry to the great British Empire. I'm proud.
Listen to Mr. Gilded. What a fine gentleman London has in him. Did you hear that he donated £5,000 to some shit? Mother, please let me go and play him at Gilded Park.
It's the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGill.
That's definitely welcome news. He certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him.
Because he's actually a serial killer.
Yeah.
Eloquently put, Mr. McGill, and most laudable sentiment. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind. Shut the fuck up. That you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed?
This dude is flipping a knife in the jury box.
Wow.
Is this literally Jack the Ripper? Is he on the jury?
I think you've solved it. Like, the actual criminal is one of the jury members.
Okay, let's see. I think this guy is a union boss because he has the rose.
Yeah.
This is someone who went to college but can only get a job as a maid, so she's dead inside. This is Jack the Ripper that we talked about. This is a librarian.
But also, like, closet lesbian in this time period, suffragette, definitely.
Oh, yeah. So there's this horseshoe here. I think he might be like an American cattle rancher.
No, he's wearing the same uniform as a cab driver, but he's a drunk. He's got a flask in his hand.
Okay. He's a drunk cab driver. Brilliant. And she's sewing. She's just she's
grandma.
Someone's grandma. Yeah.
I can be the voice of the drunk cab driver.
Okay.
I call him.
Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rotters to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready.
At the manor, his lordship always says he should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree.
This is good. This is good for me. Any criminals here will soon be wishing they never set eyes on me. She should say shit.
I feel the chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these mitts for my grandson. He has a 50% chance of dying before the age of 5.
Let's say it's your mom.
Oh, no.
Oh, Mr. Gargano, those people are...
The jury, yes. That's something we don't have in Japan yet, like rights.
That's right. I've only ever read about it. To think real people actually get to make decisions. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passes sentences according to the law, but the jurors determine guilt based on common sense.
Man, I just know every time anything dramatic happens, like, it's gonna cut to each person on the jury individually.
Oh my god.
And they're all gonna have like a one-line comment on it. Holy shit. What a nightmare.
And like a 10 to 15 second animation.
Yeah. That we'll see like 10 times.
That's why the game's 52 hours long.
Oh my god.
So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view.
Jake is in chat saying, no, it doesn't happen. Seriously, it doesn't. No.
Oh god.
How exactly do the jurors give their verdict?
What an interesting way to explain game mechanics.
Yeah.
That I don't know, but I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses.
Yes.
Prosecutor Van Zeeks!
My lord.
It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame.
I am known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Oh shit! What? Shit. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings. I can't go to the Palpatine. Shit. Every British guy is Palpatine.
That's fine.
Spread my wings in this capacity.
So, what brings you back? I just like that we're having like a casual conversation.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hey, buddy, we're totally friends. The judge and the prosecutor. This is great.
Yeah, this isn't corrupt at all.
Yeah.
Is there some change in circumstance of which the court should be aware? I need more blood.
I leave that to your imagination, my lord. There we go. That's closer to it, man. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. I wonder if he'll solve some case about something that happened 5 years ago later. Why did he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback?
As you wish, sir, the court nevertheless becomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please.
We'll start with the defense. Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks, known in the community as Thrice-Fired Mason. Imagine that, a man who made bricks and his name is Mason. Sorry, thrice?
He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible.
The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard.
Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that the photograph is evidence.
The autopsy report has been entered into the court record. I know we're going to look at this. Oh, the photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. And one further item of evidence, which I will look at after it. Let's check this out. Armband. Alright. Stabbed in the abdomen. Okay, I don't see anything stand out there yet.
Was there a back?
It's not a 3-dimensional. It's just a...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one of the buttons is missing.
Yep.
I'm sure that'll be important. I don't really see anything else immediately.
His glasses, maybe? Something about like their lighting. It looks like they're added on after the fact or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, they do look like a separate thing. Yeah, like, kind of like the tiara in the last case.
Yeah.
And then I want to see anything with this. The lawyer's name is embroidered on the inside here. Look. Kazuma Asogi. This was his band, of course.
He had art on the study tour in Great Britain.
Great Britain. It's like a knockoff, like Vegas version. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here. But he lost his life before he even had the chance to see the place.
I have such a strong sense of his hopes and dreams when I look at this armband, though.
Rip.
Grand Britain is just Brittany.
These are the scales of justice. They're a symbol of the defense, aren't they?
Yes, that's right. The scale is a symbol of fairness to show that all are treated equally in the eyes of the law, unless you're black. And they're a warning to those who enter the courtroom without an impartial mark. Unless you have money.
If the mark of the defense. be more auspicious if they were weighing more heavily on the not guilty side, I think.
Very partial, I'm sure.
The prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
And these are... Good Lord! Is that blood, Counsel?
Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. What? Mr. McGilda's gloves had blood on them. Those are definitely riding, like, horse guy gloves, though, right?
Yeah. Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well.
The defendant's leather gloves have been entered into the court record. Because, like, he wouldn't wear gloves over his big flashy rings. How did I get into this? This is definitely blood, isn't it? It's the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London.
Crumbling now!
No. By the way, is Mr. McGilda right-handed?
Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier.
Ah, pity. If only he'd been left-handed.
I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really.
I don't see anything major in these.
Yeah.
I backed into a corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2. Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilden. Oh, here we go.
Rather damning circumstances, to say the least. Defendant, what say you? Oh God, I gotta remember his voice. Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing.
Mr. McGilden.
To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I take in with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it. Are you claiming to have been asleep? 'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Whoa, so it's... so it is when I open my eyes again. Oh boy.
Oh, no.
I apologize to the, Jake. I said the only one watching. 'Twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in my life. Oof! Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul would have rushed to the help of a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
You know, I like how in this one the defendant actually just said, like, speaks up and says, no, it wasn't me, and here's my story. Like, a lot of time, like, you barely even see the defendant in court. You have to get these facts out of other witnesses. So maybe it'll turn out that he's lying about some of this, but, like, this makes sense, right? He's, like, actually defending himself. So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Unfortunately, that statement of the drivers is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it. There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed.
Order!
the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. And there were witnesses to the crime.
Wait, how could there have been witnesses to the crime if they were the only two people in the carriage when the crime occurred?
Objection. Case over. We're good. We got it. Case solved. We're good. Fixed. Beat him. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's the nail in the coffin for the accused. Ugh.
Oh. Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses first of all.
Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once. Oh my god. We have 3 witnesses on the stand at the same time.
Oh my god.
Witnesses, your names and occupations.
My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I'm driving omnibus in the East End.
Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My
name's First. Lady First. I make hats for jinx.
Oh no. Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right.
Yes, sir. That's right, sir. Very well, then, let's proceed to your formal testimonials, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
I wonder, like, how ridiculous this is going to get, because, like, having more than one person in the witness stand was already the most I've ever seen. And then we're on case 3, we're already up to 3. Like, I feel like at the end of the case, we're going to have, like, the entire city of London on the stand. Like, what the witnesses saw.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
That's right! He stabbed him! I screamed at it! I couldn't help it! As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too! Unambiguous testimony, I must say!
Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
So?
Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Well, why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As it's been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those 2 witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. I'm surprised that we didn't have to, like, go through 30 minutes of gameplay to point that out. How quaint. There is a webcam inside the carriage. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Uh-huh. Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning. Is it not? I thought it was just a word for carriage. Is it something else? Is it like a big carriage? Is it like a electric trolley?
Yeah, I don't know. Even then, I mean, like, they're outside it.
Yeah. No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves the actual scene of the crime that is. What do you mean? The actual scene? How? A carriage is designed to be moved, after all. Presumably you understand that much. Yes. The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building. Here? What? The entire carriage? Benneth? Bring forth the stricken omnibus.
Yeah, I mean, like, how could someone clearly see
Oh,
it?
they were on top. It's like a double-decker. It's a double-decker bus.
Oh my god.
So that's an omnibus. The omnibus. Boy, but the picture is definitely inside.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're gonna find out. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. They have giant door technology. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof allowing a view of the interior from the seats above, and allowing a view upskirts from below. We made it for the Japanese. Ah, skylight. Oh. The penny drops at last, I see. And pennies are worth quite a lot in these times. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. Ah, that makes perfect sense.
Counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom.
There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish.
I just realized, like, for this to be historically accurate, we should be wearing, like, the little wig.
The wig? Yeah.
Very well, I see no reason why not.
And you can tell this game really values historical accuracy.
Oh, yeah, of course. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence.
The omnibus has been entered into the court record. I can't believe it! The entire crime scene enters evidence? Can we just look at it now?
Normally, we just get photographs.
Yeah. They were just like spinning. Oh, are you serious? Phoenix, right? Omnibus? Okay. I can't find anything. Really? Can't find anything out of place where it says Phoenix, right? Omnibus? There's no Jilla joke about that? Maybe we're gonna hear it in a little bit. I don't know. Maybe like the. Or is it like they like this is like the name of the asset? They just forgot to pick it up. Can we go inside? No. Okay.
I don't think you got like on the door itself or something. Okay. No, I guess I won't let you
Maybe we can
open
do
the door.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we?
Ugh, scene of a murder. It's horrible.
Oh, you can click on that drawer.
Yeah, there's like a compartment here. Someone could be hiding in there or something. What if you open? There's still a person in there.
Oh my god.
This seat has a handle, it seems. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running.
Feeding tube, tools to repair wheels, blankets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems.
So look at like how low textured this stuff in here is. Do you see that? It's like PlayStation 1. Like
clearly they're like picking and choosing.
Yeah. Like what gets all their time.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure.
Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway.
Same thing. Yeah, okay. Oh man, someone in my neighborhood is grilling out. It smells really good.
Wow.
I think it might be one of my downstairs neighbors.
Oh, there are rules.
This I think it's like a lantern out here, but it's really creepy. It looks like an eye, and it only comes up when you're not looking at it. Do you see that?
Yes.
It's like this was a
and the other side too.
Yeah. And like when you look at it, it goes away. It's freaky. It's a poster for the Great Exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. 6 months. That's that could be the time span of this game. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. That must be the Eiffel Tower-esque thing that we saw in the cutscene.
Oh, Crystal Tower! It's under construction already, I believe. People all over London must be busy with excitement at the prospect of such a grand event.
So it'll be the same thing. Yeah. So look at the blood now. That's the blood that's soaked into the seat. The victims, obviously.
Yes! The seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck.
Did you really stab someone in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder?
Well, it was, after all, dark. And there was a lamp on it in there, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight.
Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack.
Can you click on the windows at all?
No, it doesn't light up. Oh, okay, this one. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it?
Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view in the cabin from the roof deck.
There doesn't appear to be a handle or a catch of any description. So I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin, at least. We'll go outside and look at the top. You've seen enough? Let's step back outside. Oh, that's you. Good.
Oh!
There you click that fast.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Oh, I guess, was there anything different about the picture? We can't look at that right now anyway. I can't believe we're not gonna make any joke about this.
So this is the deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London streets from up here.
People sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them? And then they have to pay money to do so?
I can't imagine how cold it must feel.
That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment?
Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late.
Stay past your bedtime, get dragged through the streets. It's justice.
Makes sense. So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh wait, is this the same dialogue?
I thought it might be different because they can see through here.
I think you can click on the skylight though.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, here we go. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure.
Yes! And there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly.
That's not good for us. We didn't really get anything new out of this, I think.
Yeah,
Everything looks the same. So I'm not sure how the blood got from there to on the seat, unless he's just being moved around when he's dead or something.
Yeah. Yes! Great! Simply extraordinary!
I can help myself a lot by giving that omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Nice.
Let us continue with proceedings, then. Your cross-examination, counsel.
Maybe it'll be like, we'll ask where they were sitting, and it'll prove they couldn't have seen or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't expect this Nipponese ray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights.
Racist.
Alright, my first cross-examination in a British court. Focus. Suke, focus. Okay, finally, back to the witness testimony from like 2 hours ago. Because we probably should just press on everything.
Yeah.
Let's see what we have here. Okay, so do you want to just press on...
Yeah, I think each statement, yeah.
Shit.
Hold it!
Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, sir, that's right, sir, yes. Ever so cold it was, sir, freezing, in fact.
I think we're supposed to see if like one of them is doubting what they say. Okay. I think I remember this being introduced like in the first case.
Yeah.
And you had 4 passengers on board at that time, is that correct?
Yes, that's right, sir. None all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though. No. And there were no passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example. You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that, no. None.
This man is so cold. So nobody fled the scene of the crime then.
I have to say, the boss insists on it running. He does every evening. But the bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, so sorry to say.
What do you mean by that?
Well, with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much on the way home, just trying to warm up again.
Hold it!
And you saw them through the skylight in the roof of the carriage? That's right. When you set up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. The 2 of them were reaching hats that I couldn't exactly... Well, 2 of them were wearing hats that I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGildet. How could you be so sure?
Oh, I just noticed Rinosuke has the samurai sword.
Yeah, because he took it in the boat level, I think.
Yeah.
Well, how can I put it politely? Mr. McGildet is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. And no one thought to check the cargo compartment, which I'm sure will not ever come up. There is no room for doubt here. I really wish there was, though.
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment that it happened? Didn't I already testify to that? Or a fair dig of hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days?
No.
Fuck bankers. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good, I've really got his backup. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail, if that's... My lord.
Juror 3, what's the meaning of this?
My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. Oh, you see like his seat back changed?
Oh?
Because I think he's on the guilty team or whatever. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. And Jake says that I have no control over what's going to happen, so it's not like a real mechanic, it's just narrative stuff where the jurors change, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter, anyway. I'm a good juror. Oh, shit. That's precisely what I was about to say. As the foreman of the jury, it is my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors. What is happening here? What is this fire magic going on?
See, it seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. They use fire magic.
Yeah, with fire?
Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty.
What is this, a pope?
As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one, they each cast a ball of fire into the great scales of justice as we saw a moment ago.
So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean...
Let's sure that doesn't happen. So
I'm even more worried than I was before.
very well, the court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
This is a nightmare. I feel like that means that we're supposed to press that. If this big important thing was supposed to happen, unless it just goes when you press the third thing or something.
Yeah.
Anyway. Did we see
So wait, did we not actually press that then?
No, we did. We did this one.
Okay.
So let me do this. Okay.
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say, and you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. Oh god, I'm somehow now Lindsey Graham. I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow that was stabbed. I'd been thinking about new hat designs, you see, so I was just gazing absent-mindedly around.
Waiting for someone to have some kind of reaction here.
But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly, that huge great knife. Humph! A grim sight indeed.
That didn't help me at all.
Rebel.
They truly look like they're even more convinced Biocline did it than they were before.
That made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions.
Her first.
Oh, yes, sir.
Is this the knife you saw?
Oh, good grief, yes. That's it. The very one, sir.
So, Jake tells me in the chat that, like, when one of the other two witnesses is doing something different, it'll make a noise, which kind of makes this whole thing pointless. But okay. Is that... Yeah, Counsel, this is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart.
That is a blade of considerable size, Counsel.
It is, and furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. It could be M or W for Wombo. Ugh, please no. M for Magnus, perhaps, or McGilded, possibly. Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
But there are M's everywhere. Like, yes. Like in Mason.
Objection!
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No! This weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Ugh.
Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, Counsel.
We're definitely gonna find someone with a W name. That's gonna be it.
Yep.
I'm betting. The murder weapon has been entered into the court record. Oh, here we go.
My lord, if you forgive the interruption. Adjourn number 2, go on. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths.
Wait, what are you about to do?
Dispose of the rubbish.
No.
I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime.
I feel like we're gonna survive this case because the grandma's too busy knitting to switch her status, and that will give us enough time to flip the other guys.
Yep. I painstakingly typed every word added here today and cross-referenced all the facts. Such I am now in a position to draw the only logical conclusion.
So shit like this is why jurors cannot actually talk during the case. And I found out recently,
Yes.
like, they can't even talk to each other about the case until a deliberation at the end.
Yep.
In the US. Like, they can't even, like, give their theories while the case is going on. Not again.
That's 4 jury members who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left.
We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse.
Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark.
I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks will fly.
We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back.
But... Alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again.
I was expecting to say, like, keep calm and carry on.
Okay, so we wait to present something to this? No. shit. Oh no, that was the last one. The first. My bad. So we still need to press the last one. I thought we went back to the beginning. Anyway, all right. So what happened? The only two people in the enclosed cabin area were the victim and the defendant. And so help me, 3 whole people witnessed the man I'm trying to defend do the deed.
I don't like this pessimistic. I like to be pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here.
Oh my god, I think my neighbor's making like tacos or some shit. It smells really good. I'm hungry. And I already had dinner. Fuck. Ugh. What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGilded really innocent? Or could it be?
Jump to conclusions. Our first task should be to gather information. We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Let's listen to those witness statements again. A little more carefully this time. Let's do the last one.
Hold it!
What exactly did you see?
Oh well, sir, that would be passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was.
And by the passenger, obviously you're referring to the victim, Harry Mason,
Wait.
the brickmaker?
Collapsed on the floor?
Yeah, that does sound... Yeah.
He was sitting on the seat.
Got him. Take him away, boys. And
the other passengers had the knife in his hand like this.
By the other passenger, obviously you are referring to the accused, Herr Magnus McGilded.
And the knife was stabbed in him.
Yeah.
And then he punched it down like this, stabbing the other passenger in the belly.
So the guy was on the floor and then he got stabbed?
I guess.
What? Oh, here we go.
My lord.
I wish to speak.
I was just speaking. Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that's you too? It's just as the master of the London Coachman. The idea of the murder being committed in one of the seats carriage is utterly abhorrent to me. It would be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts that I said to myself. I said it. But I've heard enough now. Or it's battle, as they say.
No, please, just keep it open mind a little long.
Gee up! Seven blast! The finish is in sight. Papa is a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Oh, thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir.
This is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man.
Grandma, we need you.
Madam Juror, number 6. Was it me? Yeah. Yes, dear. What can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in this stand. Oh yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know.
Oh god, that'd been hilarious if she was deaf.
Yeah. Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Where are your papers? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park at around this time of day, and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting.
Yep, you're right. She's too busy knitting to make a decision.
There's a lovely little park just near where I live. Big Gilded Park, it's called. I'm not impartial whatsoever. The gentleman donated to the city, you know, to put a smile on Londoner's face, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. He's always doing wonderful things for the city. That's right. A man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely.
Mother, go to McGilded Public Library after we borrow some more books.
How many Londoners live with that? How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know? What kind of man Magnus McGilded really is? Oh, this Castlevania music going on right now. What kind of a man is he? The philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls. What? Stow the crows! McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak. I've never heard any mention of that before.
And that also should not have an impact on the decision of the case.
Your faculties have not deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? You're not saying that the victim, a poor brickmaker, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Or that it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts.
Shush!
The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded. I don't believe it.
If I something briefly,
Mr. Zato.
You claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim? Shit.
I take a drink every time a Fraulein talks to me. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice in a court of law.
There it is! Lord Van Zyke's hallowed chalice!
What is there, man? A miserable pile of secrets. How can this be considered acceptable? But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage. I didn't expect to experience it myself.
I'm simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
Shit!
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time.
Upon this toast, Counsel, I will gladly accept this new evidence.
The debtor's letter has been entered into the court record.
Ah, yes. 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum.
Oh, I took the knife out either. That's definitely W. That's absolutely W. An ornate letter M. Undeniably, Mr. Magnus Bengild's initial.
And it's beautifully gilded, too. It must be very valuable, I should think.
Ah.
What is it?
Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. Damn it. I felt
A W?
Yes, this is one of those, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it.
I'm afraid I don't know it all, but what I am sure of it is that this is an M.
Oh. Well, that idea was quickly quashed. Damn it. Do we get trolled? What does it look like? I can't... Oh, can I rotate it the way I want to? Oh, okay. Well, it looks a lot more M-like. From that, I don't know. We'll find out.
That's part of the sheath, isn't it? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I just don't really like blades.
Oh!
I did not study the blade. Sorry to say.
Those don't seem like the words of a man with a large katana slung from his waist.
It's not a blade. That's Kazuma's
Euphemism.
Yeah. Anyway, there's no sense in delaying it. See what the blade looks like. Gross.
Yes. Merlot.
That looks a lot like blood.
It surely is blood, the victims.
Ugh, an English man's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood.
Racism. It doesn't exist. Did you think it wouldn't?
Racism destroyed.
Yep.
Based. Sorry, it's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust.
Yes, I do understand.
This is not giving us anything important at all. Because it seems like it dunked on our W theory.
I don't know. I still think it's a W.
Yeah, we'll find out. We have to wait till someone is introduced with a W name.
Yeah. And then we'll spend like 20 minutes hashing it out.
Yeah. This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry.
Oh dear! Do you really think we ought to look inside? Yes.
Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps.
Oh god, I'm gonna laugh if it's like her life owes like a ton of money.
Yeah.
I assure you we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside.
Well, let's see what we find. God, oh, that's you.
Gosh, it's incredible gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off.
Oh, goodness!
What is it?
Look at this! Do you see the name here?
Bruce Fairplay? Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually. It's the guy in the middle, yeah.
The witness testified at this very moment!
Oh yes, of course, the banker! Why is his name in here? Ah, he borrowed 20 guineas, didn't he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching.
It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information.
It's been updated. Same. Okay. I thought it would look at the defendant or the victim, maybe, but I think this is everything. Same. Nice. I don't know where to present that. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Regrettably, madam, that is the modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel! To hell with him. Still. Maybe it's all for the best. Ah, wait a minute. Let's think about this a little bit more. I don't stand for nonsense!
Did we just fail?
No, it'll be a dramatic moment, and we'll be like, wait a minute. That dude's not a good witness. That was it. The last juror's decision. Or like, we get the right to finish the cross-examination or something.
Encyclopedia of British Law. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, they die. Court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here.
The final verdict. It's over then.
Oh! There's a footnote, though.
A footnote?
However, the defense...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case.
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision.
According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial. By delivering my final verdict, I trust there are no objections.
Mr. Zato, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yes!
You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law, however the defense. What did it say next?
Oh, yes, of course! One moment!
The Trial of Combat Clause!
When all members of the jury have concluded the defense is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. So we get to, like, question the jurors?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely not impartial, right? Summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination? From which century has that tome that you have there been resurrected? I didn't hear you said that, but it's just so we're going. Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It is a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh.
What even is it, Mr. Zato? This so-called summation examination.
Oh. One, and I'll read about it.
Yeah, just pause the whole court thing while I read this book. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Typical Nipponese.
Yeah. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the member of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse their decisions.
Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So it rather fell out of use.
So I just realized we're at the 2-hour mark. Do you want to, like, try to go to the next checkpoint, or do you want to stop here?
I mean, we could go on for maybe like another 10 minutes.
Okay. Hopefully we'll get, like, to the next testimony or something.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age.
Well, it's a good thing I have no self-respect.
Exactly. Dude, I was gonna say, I feel like increasingly sure that it's impossible to change people's mind about anything. Like, anything that, like, actually matters, you can't do it. You can't change their mind. It's not possible.
So, quick story. So I used to be in both Grandpa and Jim's Sunday school. And so I was a member of the joint class. And it was during like the 2008 election.
Oh no.
And your grandpa and Jim Stanfield were sitting next to each other. And, you know, your grandpa, Democrat, Jim Stanfield, pretty conservative Republican. And like, Grandpa knew that like I kept up on the news and things like that. I was about to say something, and Grandpa like leaned over to me and he was like, Jim Curry and Jim Stanfield have been believing what they believe for 70 years. You're not going to change their mind.
That's really funny. It's funny that you said he was a Democrat about Grandpa Jim, because he told me that 2008 was the first time he voted for a Democrat.
Really?
Yeah, or at least like the first time in a long time, because he said he was pissed because he voted for the Democrat once, and then the local Republican Party kicked him out.
Interesting.
That's what he told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Grandpa thought Jim was, or at least maybe he knew that he was going to vote for Obama.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, whatever. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he told me that a few times, like, that he was like, wow, I voted against them one time, they kicked me out, I guess fuck you, I guess I'll stay with the Democrats then.
Interesting.
Yeah. But maybe he didn't vote before at all, I don't know.
Huh. But yeah, no, it was really funny.
Yeah. What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct.
I'm invoking the sovereign citizen defense.
God, this is like Picard showing up in the middle of like the Klingon, like, high court. And like using obscure Klingon law and tradition to like pick a chancellor. Sorry for my Star Trek reference for the day. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Summation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? Why does the game even ask you? Like, literally, just do it. Whenever the game asks you, should I do a thing or not do a thing? You always do the thing. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But it's our right. It's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial.
The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination.
This is madness.
Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready?
Hey? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so...
Members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision.
Do we find, like, the one weak link, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
The one we can disprove with evidence. On what grounds?
You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant is guilty.
Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I didn't really hold with all this justifying lark. This seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It's none of them experienced this before.
Alright then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. Might be the opportunity we've been looking for. To turn this trial around, baby!
So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant Magnus McGilden guilty of this most serious crime.
Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions. Oh, okay. This is gonna be the whole thing. It seemed like a whole testimony thing. Do you want to just say it right here?
Yeah, if it'll let you.
Yeah, it should be able to. I thought it would. Yeah. Oh no! I want it. G for options. Okay. Let's keep going until we get to the point where I can hit the menu.
Okay. I trust the driver. He has excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
What the guy's saying. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. He stuck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen.
I have simply typed and collated the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion.
You claim to trust the guild. Fair fares. It's our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor, I beggars belief. Oh, that's what we disprove. Because he was stabbed we can tell he stabbed in the chair. We'll get to that next. Can I save now? There we go. Okay. Alright, so this section moved way quicker than the first 2 episodes, I think. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Like, it was it's much more compelling to play through.
Agreed.
Yeah. Which is cool. So I'm definitely excited to play this again. Are you good for Sunday?
Yeah. Sunday should be fine.
Alright, sick. In that case, we will close the stream out for now. Thanks for watching, Jake. Goodbye.
Bye.